Hey, Planeswalkers Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, I got an exciting top deck for you. This one's coming out of the Rivals League weekend. Another one that I definitely wanted to feature for you because it's one we have not done. So, Planeswalkers, before we hop into it, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, you can like me on Facebook. You can like the video if you like it. Also follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. And if you want to stay tuned to my journey, there's a link down below to my Untapped profile as well. All right, Planeswalkers. So what deck am I speaking of? My friends, we have a Jeskai Control deck. Technically a Jeskai Yorion Control deck. This one hailing from the player Allison Warfield. So congratulations, Allison, obviously, in being a part of that Rivals League. So I chose this version in particular for a couple of things, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Additionally, we'll walk through the main board, we'll walk through the sideboard, we'll walk through how to sideboard, and then we'll go play some Mythic matches here in competitive Magic. But before we do so, just so that you are aware, Jeskai hails from the color schema of white, blue, and red, also known as Plains, Islands, and Mountains. And it is a Yorion deck because of the fact that we got this guy right here. Yorion Sky Nomad is our companion, and we'll talk about that here in a minute as well. And then additionally, it is a control deck in particular because most of the stuff is dealing damage or countering different spells and those kinds of things, or clearing the board. So lots of cool mechanics in this deck. And again, I'll talk about here in a second why I like this particular version of this deck. Well, not only was it in the Rivals League, but there's a few things that I do like about the mechanics of this one. So Planeswalkers, before we get started, again, the deck lists are down below, or the deck list is down below. If you got questions or comments, please let me know. And then also there's links to the decks for you down there too. So Planeswalkers, let's go ahead and walk through this here quickly. See what we got going on. Obviously a number of cards. So for those of you, again, that are new or returning, it is a companion deck with Yorion. Yorion is a flying companion, but additionally, our starting deck must contain 20 cards more than the minimum deck size. So in this case, for standard, it is 20 plus 20 on the 60, making an 80 card deck, as you can see. And then when Yorion enters the battlefield, we get to exile any number of non-land permanents that we own, and we get to return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of our next end step. So very, very important there. We got a lot of 2-drops, which is very, very crucial here, particularly for this deck, because we're not running 1-drop, so it's going to be open a little bit to some of those aggro decks. But first we got Glass Casket, which targets creatures with mana cost 3 or less. We have the Birth of Meletis. We have Omen of the Sea here, which is a flash enchantment where we scry to draw a card. And then additionally, Fire Prophecy. So one of the things I like about this is it doesn't exile our opponent's creatures, but we may put a card from our hand on the bottom of our library, and if we do, we get to draw a card. So it's a damage draw card. Very, very nice mechanic there for us, particularly in this deck, especially when you have 80 cards. Next, we have Omen of the Sea. Again, a nice flash enchantment, creating 2 1/1 humans that are tokens, then also we gain 2 life. We have Neutralize here, which is a great counterspell, also has good cycling, which is very important. And you can't be afraid to cycle early, particularly if you're playing an aggro deck. It's something to consider. Next, we got Valakut's Awakening. So this is a really, really cool modal land. So first, it's an instant speed spell. We may put any number of cards from our hand on the bottom of our library and then draw that many cards +1. Then we have Shatter the Sky, which is our amazing board wipe card. Then we got Transmogrify. Or Mogrify. Mogrify. Anyway, with that said, this card is pretty sweet, and one of the reasons why I like this particular deck. Now, there is another friend here that we'll talk about in a second, and why I do like this one better versus that. But here we get to exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, and then that player puts that card on the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. So hold this card in your hand, in your visual memory here for a minute, because we'll come right back to it. Next, we got Elspeth Conquers Death. So exile target permanent 3 or greater non-creature spell. Opponents cast 2 or more next turn, and then additionally we can return something from our graveyard, put a +1 counter on it, or a Planeswalker's Loyalty counter as well. Next, we have Lukka Coppercoat Outcast. So like Transmogrify here, except for less, we can do our -2. We can exile target creature we control and reveal cards from the top of our library until we reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost. Put that card on the battlefield and the rest on the bottom in your library in a random order. And then our +1 is exile top 3 cards of our library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast this card from exile as long as you control Lukka. And then additionally, -7, each creature we control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So pretty powerful card here. Many of us remember the old school Lukka decks, the Jeskai Yorion Lukka decks, or Jeskai Yorion Lukka decks, where we would go dig and grab Treacherous Agent. Luckily, for those of you that didn't like that deck and play, it got banned. So removing one of the most powerful decks, yes, those mirror matches were pretty brutal, but here is the kicker. I like this card over this one because it kind of does the same thing, except it's not a Planeswalker. And we're going to get good value out of this. Next, we have Shark Typhoon. Again, a nice enchantment, creating a flyer, cantrip, draw, all that jazz. And then Dream Trawler. So if you notice, again, control deck, no creatures except for Dream Trawler. So you get this sucker on the board. It's very difficult to get off. The only way that you can get this off is the exile board wipe extinction card for black. So be very cognizant of that. Once you get there, it's pretty easy to keep up. You're normally going to discard if they're trying to kill spell it or those kinds of things. So the only thing that you have to worry about is keeping a number of cards in your hand. And every time Dream Trawler attacks in anyway, you're going to get a nice draw. So with that said, this is how it pairs well with Transmogrify and Lukka. You essentially play and get tokens. So either you're going to get a wall creature, you're going to get your 1/1s here, and then you can also get a shark. You're going to hit it with either of these guys, and poof, you're going to get your nice trawler if you don't already have it in your hand. So that is the key mechanics of this deck here, the Jeskai Yorion Lukka deck, whatever you want to call it, control deck. So that is the main board. Let's go ahead and talk about the sideboard here. So first we got Negate. So you're going to run this against counter matches. You're going to want to run this against control decks. You're going to want to run this against things like Izzet. Anything that is more spell heavy, this is what you're going to want to play. Next, we got Scorching Dragonfire. So you're going to want to pop this in, again, when you're playing aggressive decks. It's going to be really important to control that board, and that could be where you're going to run into some problems if you're not keeping things off. Jace Mirror Mage, I actually look at this as a viable aggro option because it's going to allow you to scry, and that's going to be really important to dig for things like the board wipes and those kinds of things. Additionally, I like it for the late game, so if you do land this on the board, the ability, again, to keep looking, smoothing your hand and getting the right draws is going to be heavily important, as well as being able to protect what you're casting. So I like Jace in a number of places here. So things where I probably would not play this, I might not play this against a mid-rangey deck because they just tend to be a little bit more beefy. So the way that we got to play is slightly different. So just kind of my thoughts there, but I think this would work well against a lot of the stuff out there. And it's going to depend on your play style. Next, Mystical Dispute. So one, absolutely against any Yorion deck, you're going to run this. Absolutely against any control deck, you're going to want to run this. So like the Grixis control decks. You may want to run this against some of the Rakdos stuff, particularly the Rakdos control now that's starting to come around. Additionally, any deck that's just running blue, you're going to run this card. Many of you know that, and it's going to protect you in some of the mirror battles and other control battles. Next, we have Elspeth Conquers Death. So this one I would absolutely run against something mid-range. I would run this against heavy creature decks, so things like mono green, Gruul. You're going to want to play this to really help on the higher end of the exiling and bring some of these things back, and then also kind of tie them up a little bit with that non-creature spell cost being 2 more. Last but not least, we have Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So where would I run this? I like this again for a late game, but I also like this against creature-based decks. Very, very powerful in terms of the control aspect. I think this is always a nice one. So very, very important. You could fit it in a lot of different spots. You may not want to play it in the aggro one just because it tends to be a little bit longer. So I would focus maybe more so on some of the mid-range stuff and potentially even some of the late game that are running bigger creatures. Whew. All right, so that is the sideboard. Let's go ahead and talk about how we want to sideboard. So again, in some of those more aggro matches, personally, I think you're going to want to keep these two here and this at all times. I would pump Scorching Dragonfire in there instead of something like Elspeth Conquers Death. So this could be, oh, and I apologize, I didn't talk about the Dimir Rgoues decks and the mill decks. So Negate you're going to run, Scorching Dragonfire you're going to want to run, Mystical Dispute you're going to run against those ones. Hopefully that helps too. So apologies there. Let's go ahead and look at how many lands. So we got 35, making that 37. So you got about 1 out of every 2 cards would be a land. You're going to want a nice land draw because you want to hit that 5, 6 there as well. So things to consider. You may want to consider cutting the land. You guys know that I'm fairly aggressive and probably overly aggressive at times on my lands. I don't like losing when I don't hit land drops, but it is a trade-off. So that could always be a spot to shore up. Additionally, if they are running aggro again, so if we're still talking about aggro, you might not want to run the neutralize. So that could be a good spot to thin out as well. If you do run into more of the mid-range game decks, as well as the late range or other Yorion decks, you may want to drop your Glass Casket. That would be something I would consider. And then again, if you aren't hitting creatures, Fire Prophecy is another good one to cut. So those are 2 different areas that I would look to, is trimming here and then trimming in this potential space there as well. I do like my Shark Typhoon still just to get the body. You're going to want to keep Trawler, you want to keep these in place. Oh, and if they're not running creature heavy decks, Shadow of the Sky is a good one to get rid of. I would though keep this against the mirror match again, because this is going to be the other one that will help you get Dream Trawler off. Sorry, I know I said the extinction one, but also Shadow of the Sky will. So you do need those board wipers to help you do that. And apologies that I missed that as well. Whew. All right, Planeswalkers. So that is how I would think about it in terms of kind of the aggro mill, mid-range, late game, and how we would sideboard. Again, if you have questions or comments, please let me know down below. We did cover the nomenclature. We did cover the main kind of mechanic with this deck with Transmogrify and then Lukka as well, and then trying to hit some of the tokens and pulling Trawler in on turn 4 or turn 5, which is going to give us a lot of advantage on the board. So with that said, Planeswalkers, again, deck list down below. You can copy and paste it. Also links down below to the deck if you prefer that route. And then additionally, let's go ahead and play some Mythic matches here. Very excited. And you can always stay tuned to that journey as well down below to see how I'm progressing here. But we only have like a day, 2 days left here in the season. So we'll see how it goes. I was happy to make Mythic because it is a really nice standard right now and very healthy. So I like to say it is a little bit more challenging. All right, so let's hop into it here and play some competitive Magic with our Jeskai Control, Jeskai Lukka, Jeskai Yorion Lukka, Jeskai Yorion Control deck. All right, Planeswalkers, we are off to our matches here in best of 1 to start off. Quickly, as always, I just want to say thank you. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. I always appreciate that support. Additionally, if you liked the video, please go ahead and like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right, Planeswalkers, we have a Lurrus deck, so probably going to be our favorite good old friends, Rogues. I'm actually going to keep this. So we got a couple situations here, so I'll give it a shot. All right, we need a double white. So we can hit Transmogrify now next turn. So we'll see if we can do it, depending on what the flow looks like here. So I'm going to guess they're going to sit on a counter, though. They have 2. That's going to be a tight one. Let's give it a shot. Oh, we got away with it. Ooh. I will take it. So we played that right there. We attacked in first. Now we have protection. A lot of protection on our board, which is good. They need an exile. Well, they could have it, though. Kill spell's not going to do much. Boom! Alright, we shut down I think a rogue deck, obviously, right? Because we got their one there. So that worked out, so not bad. So we got to see the Transmogrify, or whatever it's called there, work out in our first match. So pretty neat. Alright, let's go into our second best of 1 here. Moving on up from our 91%. We'll see where we end today. Alright, UDGR15. Here we have some problems. We have a Keruga deck. Now that's interesting. We haven't seen a Keruga deck in a while. None of that stuff's really going to help, but we do have some draws, so I will try it. And we can look with Temple here. There we go. That's a good one. Keruga. Ooh. Maybe we got a new deck coming our way here. I'm gonna play risky here because I'm not gonna worry about turn 3. There we go. I can live with that. 1 ramp land. So it looks like... So we can play Transmogrify here next turn. But this looks like a nice little ramp. Put up 2 basic lands. Do I want to play into that? I think I'm going to counter it, actually. because 8 will give him the lovely Ugin. There we go, let's get some deck thinning going. We'll wipe it. And we'll keep going from there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7. I can play 3 and play Transmogrify if we wanted. So let's do it. Pay 1. Alright, we are still in it. This is an interesting matchup, but we know it's the ramp deck, so we just gotta play it accordingly. Are they running counters? Okay, I was gonna say. They gotta have an ultimatum, though. Ugin works.
Try for balance. Reality is unwritten.
So, what do we have here? I don't think that's what we do. I think we have to go this route.
Consider this a warning.
Oh, I should have went the shark. Should have waited and went the shark. That's the unfortunate move there. Yeah, we'll do this. Hit our own guy. So we'll play one turn slower here. Well, there's our trawler. So as long as they don't have lethal here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10.
Beyond perception.
Yeah, they probably watched me click those, huh? Ooh, there we go. We were back in it, I think.
I leave you to your doom.
So we got one protection here on Trawler. Maybe they got another Ugin. Oh, there it is.
Always consider the consequences of your freedom. All creation can be undone.
And we don't have a direct burn. We need Elspeth. Shoot, we should have looked here.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
If they have a giant, we're done. Let's look. Ugh. That is game. Oh, bummer, bummer, bummer. Really nice match, though. Nonetheless, a lot of fun. Very close. Oh, just some bad timing on some stuff. If we would have played that shark a little bit differently, that might have changed some things. The double Ugin and the draw just caught us off, unfortunately. But alright, Planeswalkers going back to 91%. So let's see if our best of 3 match goes a little bit better today. So split best of 1. Can't complain too much of that. Look at that. There's our good old friend right there, Mr. Lukka. All right, and on to our third and final match here with our traditional standard ranked. Additionally, feel free to check out the mono green food deck there. I think it's a great one for you. All right, and we are off, Planeswalkers. All right, Planeswalkers, as always, again, just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, you can like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, this is a tough one. Let's view the battlefield. Let's go back. I'm going to mulligan. Oh, wait. We actually got 3, so I'm going to keep this. Take that back. Ooh, mono red. It's a good thing we kept this. So this is going to be an interesting fast matchup for us. That will either go really well or really poorly. I'm going to take that off. And let's actually dump that one. There we go. Let's take that one off too. And let's go with neutralize actually. Get that on the board. We're going to put casket in here. Get rid of one of those. Right, so we're at 5. Ooh, there we go. We will take that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lukka.
Evolution provides a tactical advantage.
So good news is we can put Shark Typhoon next turn. We also still have our board wipe. Boom, there we go. All right. Nice first match. So, Lots of things that we're gonna have to do here. Elspeth hits a few things. We talked about moving in Scorching Dragonfire. I did like Jace's Mirror Mage. I'm gonna drop a couple neutralizes. These are still all really strong. Let's drop. I'm gonna put an Ugin in. I think that looks pretty good. How many? We're running way too many lands again from my side. Planes, lots of planes. Let's go 1 and 1. Puts us at 80. I think this is a good lineup here, my friends. Got a few things we can pull back. We can hit everything. We got Jace. We got those. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be hard. It's going to be well fought. Beating a mono red. But we can do it. All right. I like it. We'll keep it. Do I want to keep Ugin? Can we get to 8? We didn't get to 8 last game. Oh, I might get greedy. We'll see. I'm gonna get greedy here. Oh, I got greedy. They took my Ugin. My only Ugin. Oh, that's funny. That is too funny. We need a double red, so we'll do that. And we'll get Robber off the board. Alright, let's see what we got here. I like Typhoon. It's all going to get mixed up anyway. Should have played this first. Yes, order matters, my friends. Order matters. Good news is we can play Lukka soon here. That is going to hurt. We need a board wipe. And we didn't get it, did we? Why don't we take a look? There we go. So, as long as there's no cleave here, we still have a chance. We still have a chance. Nope, no chance. So they got the Akroan War. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we get another shot. 3. We got plenty of good stuff at the bottom. Maybe we do one more of those, and we drop one more land. All right, let's try that. Okay, moving back at it. Oh, the aggro decks. Yorion's Bane. We beat a Dimir Rgoues, lost to Keruga Temur Ramp. We will play first. I will keep this. We're gonna have to move real fast. That I don't want. Not super worried about that one. We'll go like this. Thin it up. I'm going to pull this thing off the board. Yeah, I figured that's what they were doing. That is fine. Alright, so we got a few things now here. So let's look again. Nope. Let's hit this. And we need double red. Well, we got that there. Oh, there's our Ugin. What do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm gonna decline actually. So I'm gonna play the casket. Absolutely, we're gonna mix it up. Oh, there it was. So we're gonna do this. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are we gonna make it happen? Maybe. Maybe. We need to live one more turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as long as there's no cleave, we might make it. Here's the cleave. So we need to block there and block there. Oh, it might be too much. 6, 7. 7 plus 3, 10, 12. Oh. Oh. Oh, so close. If we would have got Ugin on, we had it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, fun games nonetheless today. We split best of 1. We put up a good fight against an aggro deck, which is a horrible matchup for Yorion in my opinion, but that is how it goes. So Planeswalkers, let's go ahead again and take a look at this top deck from the Rivals League here. So again, Jeskai Control wanted to do something different. This particular one was by Allison Warfield, so again, congratulations, Allison. Quickly, here's what we got going on. So lots of things. We got to see all the mechanics. Very, very happy about that today. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Here's the sideboard. We did talk about how we did some sideboarding there. Unfortunately, not enough. We almost got Ugin off, which would have been a lot of fun. But again, mono red's a tough one to survive against, and we didn't hit any board wipes. So at least that third game or that second one. So Planeswalkers, Questions, comments, please let me know down below. Again, as always, I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. I hope you enjoyed this version of the Jeskai Yorion. Additionally, feel free, again, like I said, deck list down below. Also, you can continue to follow the journey down there too with my untapped profile. And Planeswalkers, we will see you again soon. You stay safe. We got a lot more things coming your way. Top decks, tier lists, budget decks potentially coming, and a lot of other things. So very, very excited about that, and a lot of new player content hopefully soon too. So you stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Take care, Planeswalkers. Mithras out.